Well, when I first heard about network marketing, I was 22. I was living in Livingston, California, right outside the front gate of Foster Farms, which is the largest single poultry processing plant in the world. That would be a chicken factory. And that's where I worked. It's about 20 minutes from where I grew up. And I had 4 years invested in that career and had another 36 years to go. And I actually was looking forward to it. I was deeply ingrained in the chicken career and chicken culture, and but some interesting events happened. A good friend of mine, actually the guy who got me the job at the chicken plant, he'd resigned and gone on to do something else, and he came to me one day about this incredible opportunity where he and I were going to make a lot of money. But at the same time that was happening, I was being blocked from advancing any further at the chicken plant because I didn't have a college degree. So if I wanted to advance further in management at the chicken plant, I actually had to go off of day shift, go on to swing shift. Instead of running a crew, which I was doing at that time of a couple of hundred people who I taught to cut chickens up all day long because I was so good at it, I was going to the night shift to run a sanitation crew of 6 people so that I could go back to college. That was my grand plan. And I knew in my heart that wasn't going to work because I wasn't going to do 2 hours of college, let alone 2 or 3 years at night. So that's why I was open. And what we say to people is, your job is to just go make the offer, just the invite, because you never know who's going to be open. If somebody would have asked me a month earlier about network marketing, before the chicken plant had said, hey, you can't go any further unless you get a college degree, I wouldn't have been open because my whole career was mapped out at the chicken plant. But then one day, the boss of the chicken plant, in one of my peer review, whatever kind of reviews, said, hey, if you want to go any further, you got to have a college degree. That's the policy here. So boom, all of a sudden, I was open. And Steve, my good friend, a week or two later, dangled the opportunity in front of me, and I was open because I couldn't go any further at the chicken plant. So, I was interested. Now, I wasn't excited about it. I wasn't really open. I was just interested. Interested enough to go to about 3 weeks worth of meetings before I got in. That particular company was very aggressive, and they had opportunity meetings every night of the week and a training every weekend. And I went to every meeting for 3 weeks before I got in because I just didn't get it. I didn't get how you could make a lot of money, and the emphasis wasn't going to be on selling the product. The emphasis was going to be on a whole lot of people selling a little bit of product. And I was raised, like most people, in what I call the direct selling paradigm, which is if there's a product to sell or a service to sell and there's money to be made, what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to sell a lot of that product. So I looked at the product that this company was selling, and I looked at how much money they were offering, and it didn't compute to me. I said, I can't sell that much product. I don't know that many people. I don't even want to sell that product. But I do want to make a lot of money. It took me 3 weeks to actually get the whole geometric progressions. Everybody's selling the product. It's not a few people selling a lot. It's a lot of people selling just a little bit each. And the idea is to get that group of people, the pyramid, if you will, under you and benefit from a lot of people's efforts. So 3 weeks later, I finally got it, and I jumped in, and it took me 2.5 years to make it, 2.5 years of learning and struggling, but really that's not very much time to learn an entirely new career. But 2.5 years later, I was making $10,000 a month, and 3 years after that, I was making $40,000 a month. By the age of 28, I had over 30,000 active people working for me, and that was in 1980. So, it was a good career move. And sometimes people say, you've gone really far in your life without a college education. Where do you think you'd be if you had one? I can tell you exactly where I'd be. at the chicken plant, retiring in about 2 years.